This is going to be primer competition. I got this little sample of Smashbox Radiance Photo Finish Primer a couple weeks ago. I'm really, really liking it. And I have for a long time, when I want a Radiance primer, I've used my Mercier foundation primer in Radiance. So I figured I'd find out which one I like better. Half the face this one, half the face this one. Stick here and let's see how it goes. So I'm first going to use the Mercier. I'm just going to be easy and apply it with my hand. I may have put more on than I would like to. Yeah, I put it on my eyelid so I'd be able to really see how that goes. As far as if it works as an eye primer. I did actually need as much as I put on. I mean, that was a pretty good size. It was like almost a pea. It was almost a pea size, and I think that it was maybe a little bit bigger than I would expect to have to use out of the little tiny bottle. So we'll see. This side of my face is going to be the Smashbox. I mean, it's really, really obvious in this light. I'm not sure what's translating on camera, but in this light, it's really, really obvious how the Mercier took a lot of the redness out of my skin. Didn't really notice it while I was doing it, but after the fact, I'm like, whoa. That side of my face was it's definitely more neutral colored. It's a lot more neutral colored than this side of my face. So I feel like, at least in the mirror, it's really, really obvious the difference between these two. This side of my face looks like my natural pink tone, and it kind of has a shine, and this side looks kind of yellow, and honestly, this is the color that more foundations are made to match. So if I use my Mercier, that seems like that would be more logical to be able to match more foundations versus my really red undertone coming through. Although I feel a lot more comfortable with the red side of my face. Like if I wasn't going to wear makeup and just put on this in certain parts of my face to maybe blend away what's going on, then I think I feel more comfortable with the Smashbox one. Alright, but anyway, let's see how it goes whenever I put on foundation. So I figured I would wear this Clinique foundation. It is the Even Better Makeup Broad Spectrum with 15 SPF. It says it evens and corrects. Which, right now, it looks like it is way too dark. Oh, and by the way, this is the color 05 Neutral. I was hoping that this Clinique foundation would match, and I've been meaning to try it since it's the end of the summer, so I'm as dark as I'm going to get, and now I look like an Oompa Loompa. So the brush that I'm using is my Sigma Bake Kabuki F89. This is my favorite foundation brush at the moment. I really feel like it's able to get in all of the weird shapes of my face. And it doesn't get me too streaky. It's also really soft for being able to pat out any streaks that I have. Which, by the way, I noticed this foundation, it's going on really nicely, even though the color is not good, but the under here, usually I get a lot of creasing, and I'm not getting that with this foundation. It's not real high coverage, which was my intention. You can really see my little breakout that's happening there. So once the foundation is on, I don't see a big difference between the two sides of my face. They're both kind of just shiny. I feel like the side with the Smashbox is a little bit more shiny than the side with the Mercier. And just to mention, when I used to wear this pretty much every day, I always got compliments on how glowing my skin was. And I've worn this a few days, haven't gotten any compliments. People might have just gotten used to that I was wearing that sort of product and not complimented anymore. It could be a coincidence, or it could be that the Mercier just looks better. I don't know why the girl at MAC chose this color for me. It was last year, and I did use a good amount of it because a lot of it's gone. But I don't really know when I was ever dark enough for this. Meanwhile, this looks like brown to me, and the color is NW25. It is MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, but now I just want to try it. Since I put on such a dark foundation, and I'm not going to be wearing a dark foundation like this, if at all, maybe just not for very long, so I figured I'll see how this concealer goes. Because I've been using my Tarte Shape Tape and the second to lightest shade. And maybe it looks crazy. I don't know. But honestly, that is blending in quite nicely. But then look at my chest and I feel like all that white is coming through. That is not too bad. Okay, so now I have the concealer on, have that all patted in under my eyes. And again, I'm still preferring the Laura Mercier side. That's the one that I'm preferring. This side looks like more shiny under my eyes, at least in my mirror, than this side. This side looks more radiant, this one looks more wet. Okay, I'm going to go one more step into this. I'm going to add a powder. Oh man, I just got concealer on my pants because I still had it on the back of my hand. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So this is the powder that I'm going to use. It is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in color medium. So yeah, this is the color that I've been using. And I've just kind of been poofing it in around my eyes. I hate this brush, by the way. I feel like I'm stabbing myself in the face when I do this. It is the MAC 150 brush. Okay. Whenever I start like wiping and buffing, then it just loses hairs everywhere all the time. And I'm trying to pick these black hairs off of my face. Which is so funny. For going like, I don't know, a level or two darker than my normal. I feel like, oh, would I even be able to see the black hair on my face? because I don't know, it's like such a, oh, this, oh, my pants. It's such a difference to me from the colors that I'm used to. And honestly, I think that this probably is a pretty good match. Oh, see, even with just poofing instead of sliding, I still have one on my face. This side of my mouth looks kind of weird and divided. This side of my mouth looks much more normal. This side of my eye looks more separated. Like the powder settled into the creases, and this side you can't see the powder at all. So this is a dividing line here, because first two steps before the powder I liked Laura Mercier better, but now that shine of the Smashbox is working itself out because it must have the extra moisture to be able to deal with the powder and not be too clumpy with the powder. Seriously, around my mouth makes me look like I'm 100 years old on the Laura Mercier side right now. Like, really, I feel like it looks like a really old person's mouth. So, does this tell you anything? I think that if you want to do a little bit of makeup, use the Laura Mercier. If you want to do like all of the layers of makeup, maybe go for the Smashbox. I think that's kind of a fun ending. I am a believer that there are good versions or good uses for everything. There's no gross food. Everybody's gonna like a food somehow that it's done. Every makeup surely has somebody that it's good for. And this situation, they're both good for me, but depends on what I want to do with my makeup. So that's my opinion, is Smashbox, more makeup, Laura Mercier, maybe less makeup. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. Please subscribe and please check the notifications bell down below so that you get to see whenever I post something new. Alright, I will see you soon. Thank you so much.